What do you make of that claim by Prince Harry there?
Well, if Prince Harry says that, I'm going to believe it. He's obviously clearly very bitter. But I have to ask myself, is this enough for these two brothers to be at daggers drawn? It's a terrible sight to see brothers fighting. But when they are princes of the royal blood fighting, it's very, very sad indeed. And nobody would be sadder than their mother, Princess Diana. She'd be distraught to see this. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they will inherit the earth. In the whole of this 6 hours, there's no attempt at peacemaking. In fact, quite the reverse. I would say that as a result of this, there's no way back for Prince Harry and Meghan, even if they wanted it. But they're very, very content in their California lifestyle. And one can see why they are, because it's very lavish and it's very glossy and it's very glamorous. In the film, they are thrilled to be invited on Oprah Winfrey's show. And even more than that, when Beyoncé rings up, and it's as if God has tapped on the door to come in, they are, beside themselves. Forget about royal personalities. This is something. This is real Hollywood royalty. One thing I think which we must keep in mind, that this is a commercial operation, undertaking. Netflix is an offshore company. They're in it to make money. They want a return on their investment, and they've invested millions. And they're hugging themselves with delight because the figures have been very, very good indeed. Now, I haven't seen a breakdown of who's watching, but I would guess that at least 60%, maybe as much as 2/3, are women. And I think that women have a unique way of knowing about other women. So I think they will be the judges of whether Meghan is the most wonderful, kind, loving, reasonable person, as she presents herself brilliantly, and she does. After all, she's a great actress, or a good actress, or whether she is indeed the sort of Becky Sharp of our era.
That's the thing. There's two sides to every story, isn't there? And one thing we were talking about earlier, Michael, was some people have been criticising Netflix for, in this documentary, again, in these final 3 episodes, using footage from that BBC Panorama interview with Princess Diana. We now know, of course, that she was deceived into giving that interview. Prince William then released an on-camera statement saying this interview should never be aired again, and then they go and air it. And then in another instance, they are using footage of Grenfell Tower burning. Now, we have basically an unwritten rule in this country that broadcast media should never show that footage because it can cause such distress, and yet Netflix has shown it.
Well, you're right. GBNews is right, and you've summed it up brilliantly. And I think it's a real no-no to pillage again that Bashir interview with Diana of November 1995. And Prince William went out of his way to ask that it never be shown again, and the BBC acceded to that. Of course, the BBC has no control over Netflix, which, as I said, is an offshore corporation. But I think it's a failure of taste, and I think it's a failure of judgment to include the burning tower. I went past there this morning. I looked at that tower. I thought my thoughts. I don't think we need to parade those dreadful pictures again. We saw them at the time, and they don't get any easier to watch. And that was completely wrong.
Michael, for the moment, thank you very much. Well, Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace have not responded to any of the claims or allegations made in this Netflix documentary. They are very much focused on the Princess of Wales Carol service tonight, which is expected to pay tribute to the life and service of the late Queen Elizabeth II.